Nigeria, a land of vibrant cultures and a rich history, stretches back thousands of years. Long before the arrival of Europeans, civilizations thrived on Nigerian soil. Evidence suggests human presence dating back to at least 13,000 BC. This is showcased by the discovery of the Duna canoe in Yobe State. This ancient vessel speaks to the ingenuity of early Nigerians. Among the earliest known cultures was the Nok civilization. Flourishing between 1500 BC and 200 AD, the Nok people left behind a legacy of remarkable terracotta sculptures. These intricate figures, found in the western Jos Plateau and beyond, offer a glimpse into their artistic skills and beliefs. The Nok culture represents a vital foundation for understanding the depth of Nigerian history. The decline of the Nok culture paved the way for the emergence of new powers. These were not merely small settlements but organized kingdoms with complex systems of governance and social structures. These kingdoms engaged in trade, diplomacy, and sometimes warfare, shaping the political landscape of the region. The echoes of these ancient civilizations resonate in the cultural tapestry of modern Nigeria. They remind us that Nigeria's story is one of continuity and change, deeply rooted in a past that continues to inspire and intrigue. The ancient whispers of these civilizations can still be heard today. Following the decline of the Nok civilization, powerful kingdoms arose across the region. Each kingdom developed unique traditions, political structures, and spheres of influence. They engaged in trade, diplomacy, and occasionally conflict, leaving indelible marks on the land. The kingdoms were not isolated entities, but part of a dynamic network of interactions that shaped the course of Nigerian history. In the south-central region, the NRI Kingdom emerged, known for its sophisticated social structure and the influence of its priestly rulers. The NRI kings, believed to be descended from a divine ancestor, held spiritual authority over a vast area. They promoted peace and trade, contributing to the stability and prosperity of the region. Further south, the Benin Kingdom rose to prominence. Renowned for its artistry, particularly its bronze casting, Benin was a powerful force. The Benin bronzes, depicting the kingdom's rulers, warriors, and rituals, are now prized artifacts in museums worldwide, testaments to the skill of Benin artists. The kingdom's influence extended along the coast, controlling trade routes and accumulating wealth. In the savanna lands of western Nigeria, the Oyo Empire flourished. The Oyo Empire was known for its powerful cavalry, which it used to expand its domain and control trade routes. At its peak, the Oyo Empire stretched from present-day Togo to the banks of the Niger River, demonstrating the reach of its military and political might. While indigenous belief systems played a significant role in shaping the spiritual landscape of ancient Nigeria, the arrival of new faiths added further layers of complexity. Islam and Christianity, arriving at different times and through different routes, would significantly influence the cultural and social fabric of the region. Islam made its entrance into Nigeria through the trans-Saharan trade routes around the 11th century. The Kanem-Bornu Empire, located in the northeastern part of present-day Nigeria, became an early center of Islamic learning and scholarship. The spread of Islam was gradual and peaceful, often adopted by rulers who saw its potential for fostering trade and strengthening their authority. Christianity arrived on the shores of Nigeria in the 15th century, brought by Portuguese missionaries who established contact with the coastal kingdoms. While initially facing resistance, Christianity gradually gained converts, particularly in the southern regions. The missionaries established churches and schools, introducing Western education and influencing the cultural practices of the communities they encountered. The arrival of these faiths introduced new religious practices, legal systems, and social norms. Mosques and churches became centers of learning and community gathering, playing a significant role in shaping the moral and ethical values of the people. The interplay between indigenous beliefs and the newly introduced faiths resulted in a rich tapestry of religious expression that continues to characterize Nigeria today. The arrival of Europeans on the shores of Africa in the 15th century marked a turning point in Nigerian history. While initial contact was primarily focused on trade, a much darker chapter was about to unfold: the transatlantic slave trade. This inhumane trade would leave an indelible scar on the African continent, forever altering the course of Nigerian history. Coastal kingdoms like Benin, Calabar, and Bani became entangled in the web of the slave trade. European traders, driven by greed and a thirst for profit, exploited existing rivalries and conflicts within Africa to fuel the supply of enslaved people. They offered manufactured goods, firearms, and other enticements to African rulers in exchange for captives, often captured in raids or wars. Millions of Africans, torn from their families and communities, were forced onto slave ships and transported across the Atlantic under inhumane conditions. The journey, known as the Middle Passage, was fraught with disease, starvation, and brutality, claiming the lives of countless souls. Those who survived the harrowing voyage faced a life of forced labor, exploitation, and dehumanization on plantations in the Americas. The transatlantic slave trade had a devastating impact on Nigerian societies. It led to the depopulation of entire regions, disrupted traditional social structures, and fueled violence and instability. The trade also fostered a culture of fear and mistrust as communities became wary of being raided or betrayed. Section 5. Usman Dan Fodio and the Sokoto Caliphate. As the transatlantic slave trade cast its dark shadow over West Africa, a powerful Islamic revival movement was taking shape in the northern reaches of present-day Nigeria. Led by the charismatic scholar and reformer, Usman Dan Fodio, this movement would reshape the political and religious landscape of the region. Usman Dan Fodio, deeply critical of what he perceived as the laxity and corruption of the ruling elite, called for a return to Islamic purity. He advocated for strict adherence to Islamic law, social justice, and an end to oppression. His message resonated with the common people, who had long suffered under the yoke of unjust rulers. In 1804, Usman Dan Fodio, with the support of his followers, launched a jihad, a holy war, against the Hausa states in northern Nigeria. The jihad quickly gained momentum, fueled by popular support and the military prowess of Fodio's followers. They conquered vast territories, overthrowing corrupt rulers and establishing a new Islamic state, the Sokoto Caliphate. The Sokoto Caliphate, with its capital at Sokoto, became one of the largest and most powerful empires in West Africa. It implemented Islamic law, promoted literacy and scholarship, and fostered economic growth through trade. The Caliphate's influence extended far beyond its borders, serving as a model for Islamic reform movements in other parts of Africa. Section 6. The Shadow of the Empire. The 19th century saw the British Empire's growing influence in West Africa. Driven by economic, political, and humanitarian motives, the British expanded their control. Their arrival marked a new era in Nigerian history, leading to profound transformations. Initially, British involvement focused on curtailing the transatlantic slave trade. The British Navy patrolled the coast, intercepting slave ships. However, British interests soon expanded beyond abolition. The Royal Niger Company played a pivotal role in consolidating British control. Through treaties, often signed under duress, the company acquired vast territories. These treaties granted the British extensive economic and political rights. The Berlin Conference of 1884 to 1885 formalized the scramble for Africa. No African leaders were present, yet their fate was decided. The conference legitimized European claims to African territories. Section 7. The Birth of a Nation. The dawn of the 20th century saw the consolidation of British rule in Nigeria. In 1914, under Lord Frederick Lugard, the northern and southern protectorates were united. This amalgamation brought together diverse ethnic groups and cultures. The British adopted indirect rule, governing through traditional rulers. Despite challenges, this laid the groundwork for a national consciousness. The seeds of nationalism were sown as Nigerians began to envision an independent nation. Section 8. Trials of Independence. The winds of change sweeping across the globe in the aftermath of World War II reached the shores of Africa, carrying with them the aspirations of independence and self-determination. Nigeria, like many other African nations, embarked on the path to freedom, seeking to break free from the shackles of colonialism and forge its own destiny. After years of growing nationalist agitation, constitutional conferences and negotiations with the British government, Nigeria achieved independence on October 1, 1960. This momentous occasion was met with jubilation and hope, as Nigerians celebrated the birth of their nation and the promise of a brighter future. Nigeria adopted a parliamentary system of government modeled after the British Westminster system. Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, a northerner and leader of the Northern People's Congress, became the first prime minister, while Nnamdi Azikiwe, an Igbo from the east and leader of the National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroons, assumed the largely ceremonial role of president. The early years of independence were marked by a delicate balancing act as the new nation grappled with the challenges of forging national unity, managing ethnic and regional tensions, and building a stable and prosperous society. The legacy of colonialism, with its emphasis on divide-and-rule tactics and the uneven development it fostered, cast a long shadow over the nascent nation. Section 9. A Nation of Diversity. Nigeria, a land of immense cultural diversity, boasts a mosaic of over 250 ethnic groups, each with its own unique language, traditions, and history. This rich tapestry of cultures, while a source of national pride, has also presented challenges in the quest for national unity and cohesion. The three largest ethnic groups, the Hausa Fulani in the north, the Yoruba in the west, and the Igbo in the east, have played significant roles in shaping the political and social landscape of the nation. However, their size and influence have also been sources of tension and competition, particularly in the struggle for political power and control over resources. Beyond the three major groups, a multitude of other ethnicities contribute to the cultural richness of Nigeria. The Ijaw, Kanuri, Ibibio, TV, and Edo, among many others, each add their own unique threads to the intricate fabric of Nigerian society. Their languages, music, dance, art, and cuisine reflect the diversity and vibrancy of this West African nation. This cultural diversity has been both a blessing and a curse. It has endowed Nigeria with a rich artistic heritage, a vibrant cultural scene, and a spirit of resilience and adaptability. However, it has also fueled ethnic tensions, political instability, and at times violence. Managing this diversity, fostering a sense of national unity while respecting the rights and identities of all citizens, has been a constant challenge for Nigeria. Section 10. Nigeria Today, Challenges and Hope. As Nigeria navigates the 21st century, it faces challenges rooted in its colonial past and internal divisions. Yet, amidst these challenges, there is hope and belief in the resilience of the Nigerian spirit. Nigeria grapples with poverty, inequality, corruption, and insecurity. Despite being a major oil producer, many live in poverty with limited access to services. Corruption erodes public trust and hinders development. Insecurity from Boko Haram and other conflicts threatens stability. Despite these challenges, Nigeria remains a beacon of hope in Africa. Its youthful population and entrepreneurial spirit represent dynamism and potential. The country has made strides in democratic consolidation with peaceful transitions of power. Civil society organizations advocate for good governance and human rights. Nigeria's future depends on addressing divisions, promoting good governance, and diversifying its economy. Visionary leadership and active citizen participation are crucial for shaping Nigeria's destiny.